You're watching Local News Network Durango. I'm Wendy Graham-Settle. Will the latest efforts by Plata County and the City of Durango to address homelessness result in any action? The city and county have hired a national community development consulting firm called the Athena Group to develop a strategic plan addressing homelessness. This is the second effort to develop a plan to address homelessness in the area. In August 2018, Access Health Systems convened an ad hoc group of nonprofits and government agencies to research and identify possible solutions to housing the homeless. No new initiatives came out of that effort. In a document of talking points it released to the public last winter, the collaborative acknowledged that political hurdles have made a solution up to this point difficult. But this time around, local housing advocates believe that work on a homeless strategic plan will result in real changes, not just another list of ideas.
Where we're at today that we weren't a year ago or 2 years ago on homelessness is you've got this beautiful coming together of more political will, more awareness of resources that could come into the community and resources that are already here that we're not really tapping in a thoughtful kind of way that we could really grow some programs. And a willingness to and a more awareness across the community that it affects a large portion of the community, and we all got to do something together. And the success for the program, and what I'm hoping to learn from Megan's process, because it's the first time I've done this. So I've been doing homeless work for 6 years around the state, worked for the governor. I have not seen a process like this at the local level, where you're not only getting agreement on the vision moving forward, but you're getting agreement on how to grow together. And so it's not one entity. It's not VOA opening 3 more programs. And it's not the churches doing it. Everybody's got to step up. And there's still maybe a gap. We can't let one group or one person try to fix this.
The Athena Group is a national organization that works with communities to address difficult issues strategically and effectively. Its consultants use public engagement to help communities dive deeply into the complexities of an issue, find common values and goals, and develop actions and projects that can begin immediately after the plan is completed. Megan Picard, a Denver area consultant with the Athena Group, is leading the local effort with the assistance of local housing expert Jen Lopez. Both have nearly 40 years of combined experience working with local and state governments on housing issues. They are working with a community group called the Planning and Action Team on Homelessness, or PATH, to craft the community engagement strategies, synthesize what's been said, and come up with the plan. So far, the group is gathering what work has been done to date and what resources are available to address homelessness through community surveys and interviews. The findings are not new. The causes of homelessness in the region include the rising cost of housing, health issues, substance abuse, and low wages.
People need help. There's a real, I hear a lot of people talking about mental health issues and substance dependency, which that end of things tends to get, folks struggling with addiction and substance abuse also gets kind of demonized and not really understanding there's a lot of pain. There are many people, we keep hearing stories too about folks who are working, trying to take care of themselves and their kids and living in their cars, and that you just don't see, who are really struggling out there.
Picard added that residents who live near homeless camps or who have been confronted by homeless residents on city trails have expressed fear for their personal safety, while at the same time, dozens of residents have expressed what she called an amazing depth of compassion. And Lopez said the community will have to bridge that divide if it wants to address the challenges it faces around homelessness. Over the next few months, the PATH group will continue to gather data and will identify goals that align with the community's comments and values. Next steps will be to develop an action plan that will then be presented at a community workshop this fall. Most importantly, the action plan will include firm commitments from community groups, nonprofits, and government agencies to follow through with specific steps.
Who's willing to step up and be leaders to actually put these strategies on the ground? It is our perspective at the Athena Group that you don't just do a pie-in-the-sky strategic plan. You do a plan that once it is accepted, you can start implementing it the next day, right? And that means you understand what the funding needs are and what the funding sources are, and it includes the people who will actually bring it forward, which I think will be one of the biggest challenges that we're really hoping to address in this process. Because what Jen was mentioning earlier about the, kind of maybe things didn't pan out before because nobody was really stepping up, right? This has to be a community effort. It has to be a shared effort, in my opinion, to be successful. And so we really want to see a bunch of people stepping up. We'd love to see partners own the different aspects of the plan. If there isn't somebody stepping up, it should not be in the plan.
To follow the development of the strategic plan on homelessness, visit the city's website at durangogov.org and search for Homeless Strategic Plan. Thanks for watching this edition of Local News Network Durango. If you liked this story and want to watch it again, visit our website at durangotv.com, where you'll also find an archive of our past stories. You may also catch us on Durango Cable Channel 15 or on one of the many digital signs located around town. I'm Wendy Graham-Settle for Local News Network Durango.